Unleashing the Mailbag. Boxing's fiercest debates and surprising insights. The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as the sport's biggest names clash in the ring. But one question looms large. Who poses the greatest threat to Oleksandr Usyk's dominance? In this edition of the Daily Bread Mailbag, Stephen Breadman Edwards tackles a range of intriguing topics. From the highly anticipated Jake Paul-Gervonta Davis showdown to the readiness of rising star Moses Itauma for a bout with Usyk. A reader questions Davis's commitment to the Paul fight, predicting a lackluster performance due to a lack of training and motivation. Breadman's response: I don't know Tank personally, so it's a tough call. But assuming he's prideful, he won't want to embarrass himself against Jake Paul. He might even want to silence Paul for his past remarks. I'd expect his trainers to push him hard in training. And if Tank's team opts for smaller gloves, it could be a sign they're aiming for a knockout. But it's all speculation until the fight unfolds. A curious friend from Haiti wonders if Breadman has ever reevaluated his own takes and found them biased. Breadman's response: I've never felt biased, but I've admitted to being wrong. I wrongly predicted Canelo's victory over Dimitri Bivol, who went on to become a Hall of Fame light heavyweight. I thought Canelo was cherry-picking Bivol, but I was proven wrong. I've never favored Philly fighters just because they're from my hometown. I've only endorsed 4 Philly fighters as prospects, and I've been honest in my assessments. I've praised fighters I don't personally like, and I've kept quiet about those I don't rate highly. A reader suggests Matthew Saad Muhammad as a notable omission from Breadman's list of fighters with exceptional recuperative power. Breadman's response: You're right, I should have included Saad. He's the epitome of a fighter who can recover from being hurt. I apologize for the oversight, and thank you for the reminder. A boxing enthusiast asks Breadman about his alternative career choices within the sport and the origin of his nickname. Breadman's response: I enjoy this mailbag and see it as a passion, not just work. I could envision myself as a manager advisor or commentator, but I'd love to be a talent scout for a promoter. Promoters often overlook talent in favor of marketability. I believe I have a knack for evaluating talent and its potential. I've never been completely off in my assessments. The reader requests Breadman's top 10 pound-for-pound list, expecting some changes after recent fights. Breadman's response: 1. Terence Crawford. 2. Oleksandr Usyk. 3. Naoya Monster Inoue. 4. Jesse Bam Rodriguez. 5. Dimitri Bivol. 6. Artur Beterbiev. 7. David Benavidez. 8. Jaron Ennis. 9. Shakur Stevenson. 10. Junto Nakatani. A fan, who identifies as a casual sports enthusiast, asks about the relationship between trainers and fighters' styles. Breadman's response: Trainers often have preferences for body style, fighting style, and other factors. Emmanuel Stewart, for instance, trained Paul "Rangy" KO artists, but also worked with Miguel Cotto, Julio Cesar Chavez, and others. I've trained various fighters, including pressure fighters and outside boxers. I look for good character and a non-confrontational attitude. I prefer athletes with fast twitch abilities and mental agility. Fighters often seek trainers who have had success with similar styles. The reader delves into the concept of talent in boxing, seeking examples and the most fundamentally sound and talented fighters. Breadman's response: Talent is what you're born with, whether physical attributes or unique abilities. Tim Bradley is an example of a fighter who wasn't the most athletic, but had other strengths that made him a Hall of Famer. Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Oleksandr Usyk are the most fundamentally sound fighters today, while Jaron "Boots" Ennis is the most talented. The reader agrees with Breadman's assessment of Usyk's potential fight with Itauma and asks about Joseph Parker's chances against Usyk. Breadman's response: I admire Joseph Parker's career resurgence, and he deserves a title shot. But I'm more intrigued by Moses Itauma and Agit Kabayel. Kabayel is the most deserving due to his victories, and he's a superb body puncher, which could expose Usyk's perceived weakness. Itauma is incredibly talented, and talent can trump experience. Young heavyweight champions like Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali won titles against more experienced fighters. Itauma should increase his activity to build momentum for a Usyk challenge. Usyk should embrace the challenge if Itauma becomes his mandatory contender. History shows that giving young fighters a chance can lead to greatness, as seen with Cassius Clay. Itauma has the skills to trouble Usyk, and it won't be an easy fight. Controversy hook. Do you agree with Breadman's assessment of the Davis-Paul fight and his take on trainer-fighter dynamics? Who do you think is the most talented fighter in the world right now? Share your thoughts, and let's spark some lively discussions.